How y'all doing today? Hey, what's going on? What's poppin' choppin'? Yo, what's poppin' choppin'? We talking about the white man in the black skin. Now, how can you get a white man in a black skin? It's called rape. Now, what is the word rape? Rape is the backwards spelling of B-A-R, which is bar. What does bar mean? Bar means that you are good. So if bar means you good, then rape means that you're not. And actually the word rap and rape is not what we need today. I'm running my series on black men in white skin, those who are the descendancy of the slave masters that came from Europe, killed up the so-called Indians, which were really called Moors. Yeah, did you know that all the Indians was really Moors? The word Moor means is a abbreviation of amore. Amore means love. They were the love of the angelic realms. And as they dwindled on from generation to generation, they got less in effect because it was a trade-off and a spin-off called symmetry. And this symmetry, what it does, it releases the old to the new. You see, it's almost like this here. You had the love, the more, and then it spent off into a whole nother reality. You see this circle here? Yeah. That's what's going on. This is actually a picture of the world, this orb here. The world is not round. It's in an orb shape like this, like an egg. You see how the egg is? That's how the world is. Yes. The egg was the start off, the kickoff for the chicken. The chicken is the chi, which is energy, and the kin is the kin folks. So that what came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm gonna tell you right now. But this particular sign right here, this orb represents the planet. And as the sun is here, it's close to the planet. If it's here, it's far away from the planet. And as it moves, it turns like that. It gets closer to the planet at 2 points and further away from the planet at 2 points, which is 4 points. The word or the letter 4 represents culture. What is culture? Culture is a short form of cultivation. So as we're getting back to the topic of what we say, the white man in black skin, as he tried to come, he rapes the woman. And this is facts. He killed the parents. He raped and traded off so he can hide his accomplishments of deterioration of the DNA. That's why he sold it. When he say sold it, he made a what? A sale, S-A-L-E, which is S-A-I-L. Let me get a book. Let me get a book for the crooks so I can let you see. I got a book, now I need a pen. While I get a pen, you get a pen. While I get a pen, you get a pen. So this is how it goes. So he sold them, S-O-L-D. It was a sale, but it was a sale and the sale, like you selling the ship. He sold them. And that's the same thing as or policy. See, everything's gonna come back for you. So the sale was the sale, like the sale of a ship, where you went away. You said, let him go, put my seed up in it, plant it, send it on out so somebody else could maintain it, train it, and cultivate it. This is our culture, what we call rape. It was a culture of rape. This is why they put in rap music and let it be and rise and rise. So their children who they raped, the ancestors of those who were Moors, or they call them Indians or sovereign, and not indignant. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes get a glitch. But the same thing, they raped, and we call them mulattoes. Mulattoes. The word mulattoes meant light skin. It should have been lack of melanin, lack of melanation skin, or no male, lack of it, or the lack of it, but it wasn't. When it was, they said mulattoes, light skin, and everybody wanted a light skin. Everybody wanted a light-skinned woman and a light-skinned man, and they used the light-skinned man as call them Afro-American. They call them black. Before that, they call them Negro, but that was too close. Nigger, Negroes, and nigger. That was too close to them finding out that they wasn't white. They shouldn't be killing. Because it says that the angelic realm taught their children a special program. And this program was to alleviate and to be overseers of those who was evolving out of evolution. And those people that was evolving out of evolution, that manifest themselves through the baboon and the monkey and the apes. They do not have hair like the melanated people. They have what you call fur. There's a difference. So those who try to permanent damage their hair so they can look like they got fur. You're wrong for that. You know you're wrong for that. I'm gonna tell you you're wrong for that. Then you know you're wrong for that. You know you're wrong for that. They used to say, you know you're right, but I'm bringing back, you know you're wrong for that. That's it, you're wrong for that. So now what happened was these children, mulattoes, they love their daddy. They love their daddy because their daddy fed them the wrong foods. The daddy programmed them to do wrong to themselves and anybody around them. So their daddy sent them off like an asteroid on the earth traveling. And they becoming the daddy that their daddy was, killing and robbing and hating and stealing and doing everything unrighteous. Because what their daddy did when he raped their mama, he shut down their DNA. Their divine knowing answers is the DNA, divine knowing. Or let's say now, divine now, always. How about that? Yes, because we build and we destroy, and as we destroy their concept, we build ours. Who are we? Who am I? I am he, the we. I am the force of those who are lost. I am the voice that you need to uprise within yourself and get up, 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 and out. There's no need to you to stay in that particular body every day. You have to know how to raise yourself from your depressed state within that body, because we know that we have to do some work on that body. That body has been lied to and cheated, but you do not have to be like that man Farrakhan, who has to go to L. Ron Hubbard's organization so you can relieve those things that you are. You are who you are. You are who you are. But we can change that. We can activate your divine knowing always, so you could be cognizant of thou shalt not kill and be subjected to your conscience and be a conscious objector to war. That would stop, because you are a muffler. You are a line between your daddy and the rest of the world. You are considered to be a Yankee man. You love your daddy. You do the same thing as your daddy. He put on a suit. You put on a suit. He put on a tie. You put on a tie. He go to war. You go to war. He play the stock exchange. You play the stock exchange. He buys land. You buy land. But did you know that the land is our land? He doesn't own anything. And the more you think about it, the more you made a wrong choice and decision. So all you can do now is take a stand and shut your mouth up. Now getting back to Farrakhan and going back to L. Ron Hubbard. Mr. Farrakhan. And I say Mr. Farrakhan. So if the shoe is not shoe, you talking about the shoe? They say that they got this man in the shoe for telling the truth about what's going on. Let me say something about that real before we get into the other thing. It's so many things going on. It's going on and 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 on. Do you know what this is? You don't know what this is. You see it, but you don't know it. Just like you see me. You thought you knew me, but you never knew me, because I was evolving. And that what you seen, you were supposed to try to help me instead of try to assassinate my character. But you didn't. So now you're sitting there bewildered. You're sitting there saying, well, what's going on? Hey, the same man Marvin Gaye said what's going on, and ain't nobody answered the man yet. But you know what? Energy never dies. So everybody comes back around and around and around and around like the cipher in the cipher. We don't say circle too much, because the circle was the rising of those who wanted to kill. And we gave them degrees so they can master a certain thing to be a part of the civilization. And we were to take place as civilizers. So, what you say? You try to boot me off the back, boot me off and boot me off? I don't think so. It's not going to go like that this time. Those of you who say that you walked with a master teacher, did not he tell you that there'll be greater things that he did? Wasn't it only rightful for you to not stop, but to keep it moving? but at the same time be attentive to those who needed your help. You never help no one but yourself. So you don't know how to stop to think about the position. You think it was 40 years or 20 years or 30 years. It's now. Those people who got lazy and monetized off the mission of the angelic realm and monetized off the commandments from the angelic realm that lifted the Enosites or the Lulu Amalu or the primitive workers or those on earth and gave them supreme knowledge by cloning and gave them a position of authority as savants, gave them position of authority as creators, procreation, and overtakers and overseers of the planet Earth, and you stopped. Why did you stop? Because the bling bling. You stopped because the men in white skin got into your tribal formation by way of planting their seeds into the womb man who was melanated, and therefore you have those who tried to change nature. They went against their mothers. They went towards their father, what they call tradition of men. They taught their children that they were black. They would be lacking. The word lack, look up the word lack. And look how the bee was formulated and grafted by what they call the compass, which is in the square, which has measurements. All these have measurements. This has a point. And then they use the G, which was the 7, which was the 7, was the check mark. So the compass is for the circle. This is for the square. The G was the 7th letter of the alphabet, which you see the circle here and the infinite right here. 4 infinites. So the circle and the square would look like this. Their G would look like this. It will come here, go around up to here, bam, right there. And this right here would be the 4 corners. Okay? So through the circle and the square, you have what they call land, gauge, and put it together, it's called language. You have land and gauge. Look up the word gauge on your own and look up land, and then you have language. It's also, when we talk about division, It means the division. Okay, when we're talking about division, we're talking about division. Well, you don't have division no more. What is division? Division is actually, remember we was talking about the 6? The V represents 5. But the V in this represents 6. 6 equals 6 equals 6. The 6 is the spiral, which is the continuation. So the 6 is also a vowel that is called Y. Y means to join. That's where they get the word sex from. The 6 is the Y. Y means to join. And that's where you get the word sex from. So, through sex, through the joining, being the slaves as a host, if they were Indian slaves, as they were called, or they were African slaves, it doesn't make a difference. When they raped them, when they went into their womb, and she kept that seed, and you were born a mulatto, and you take pride and say, well, my grandmother was, or my father was white, my grandfather was white, my grandfather came from Germany or Switzerland or this and that. When you have not taken the time to investigate those lands in what we call Europe, what we call the land of germs, or Germany, or Germanic. The other day, we talked about the Germanic languages, French, Spanish, Dutch, Amsterdam, Switzerland. All these are the German's language. So the German has overstepped his bounds. So now you have things that's called integration, which is a new form of bestiality. Because in the scriptures, they're not considered to be equally yoked with the angelic realm. So the ELOHEEM is here to teach the ELOHEEM, so the ELOHEEM can overstand and take their righteous place as overseers of the entire planet Earth, to be ambassadors, to be presidents, to be the rulers, so that each woman of every race will have her proper place in the natural order. There is a natural order and there is a supernatural order. Those who try to take the place of the supernatural order, once they got into the trap, they found out that those who were claiming to be was like the Wizard of Oz and the man behind the curtain, corruptive and scandalous, and didn't have the mental to even deal with the spiritual aspect of the etheric realm. Only an Etherean that has ascended through observation and descended through originality and solidified in the body of the melanation of those who did not defy the laws of the commandments. Those who say, well, I want to be saved and I'm saved. Those self-talking from the lip service, those who consider themselves preachers, or those are from the past, the pastor. There is no past. There is no time. I am Father Time. So they say, well, why would someone want to kill Father Time? I cannot be killed. Altered states is a difference than killing. I have flatlined, pronounced dead, seen dead many times. And those who know it will not say it because they ran, just as my son Jesus, they ran from that circumstance. When we were there and we gave assistance, when he doubted, when he prayed, we answered, just as I am back from the dead, to bring you back, Hayat, not bring you back to life, to erase all problems and put the state of hell on ice for those who do not deserve to be taught, and those who are coming through as energy, as they call them, chill them. They energy, they hot, they energy. They say, oh, there's chill them Ren. The Ren is the name. The Ren is the Nur, the energy. Chill them. Don't let them say, don't try to figure out what they're doing. Put them on the program of education. Education is edit conversation that is written. Whoever writes education has the authority over it and then proceeds to make it rules and laws in society that you have accepted by leaving your culture. What is culture? Culture is cultivating. Culture is certain things you do to cultivate and to be successful. Cultivation. Certain way you speak, certain things you say, certain dress you wear. So those who have been teaching you these lies in the educational system called scholars, which represent the underworld, or that which is not correct, that which goes against the scriptures, the true script, true script writings, true, Ru, energy, Ru, life, Hayat. These words, these sounds, these vibrational tones are missing from your surroundings. You are yelling and screaming at everything with no directions, no cautions, and no proper way of deliverance or salvation. Those who are preaching to you are only giving you more weight, more problems, with no solutions. I don't care what religion. If they say they have a religion or religion, that means they do not have the way of life. If they don't have the way of life and can explain the way of life in its original tongue, then they are belittling you. They are masquerading as mascots for the policy of 10%, which they call tithes. 10% of your earnings, which is called forced labor. You have become human resource slaves to the system because you ran back to the system of things. And if it wasn't you, it was your host, which you call mommy from the word mammal, or daddy, which means to add on, give up this information and die. Dad is add and die. Father is take you a little further in the system of you going in the wrong directions. So these things, I haven't even got onto the topic because it's a series of white men and black skin. But I will name a few of them. Martin Lawrence, comedian. Comedian means come mediate the situation. I'll give you money so you will not let those people who are yearning to learn and earn their rightful place on the planet in their own land. So if you make them laugh, if you make them cry, if you make them and diffuse the situation, come mediate, come be a comedian. So who you have a comedian? Let's go to Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor. Prior to what, he was rich, but now he's odd, telling jokes, doing things, but not saying anything productive. So for 40, 50 years, you see him and you're still watching him, wasted time. He's stealing time. Who else is a comedian? See, I didn't follow all of you. I followed enough of you to let you know that that is not the way. So comedians, actors, Will Smith, the will of fixing the situation. So they pick a light skin, lack of melanation, mascot. They call him fresh. He's a fresh print because he's a product of the raping of slavery and the children of what you call, or what is called, mulattoes. So through music, which was a method of communication, he rose up, then he went into lying, which is called acting, a puppet for a script. So as we continue to give out information, and I'm going to stop it right here. We're going to get back with Will Smith. The title will be Will Smith, White Man and Black Skin.